Hello, my lovely people. Good morning. How are you doing today? My name is Lydia. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate your support. Thank you. Thank you so much. I do appreciate you. So, today I want to talk about something I previously touched on, but I want to look at it from a different light. Yeah? Sorry. I want to look at it from a different light. So I want to talk about interviews. Times have been tough, yeah? A lot of people lost their jobs courtesy of COVID. A lot of people lost their way, their businesses. We've lost a lot. A lot of people lost their marriages, their relationships, their families, their friends. I'm really sorry about that. And it's one of the reasons I really want to address this topic so that as we are out there, we know how to go about it. So, about 2 weeks back, this young lady I had interviewed about 2 years ago. She came back to me with some feedback, and I really liked it. So, when she came for the interview initially, I actually, I did actually, how will I put it? She came in late. She's about 5 minutes late. She wasn't that late. So I talked to her and I told her, you're very late. And then she was like, no, it's because I had to. So I was really on her case. And then she was like, I got her reason, but I still told her that it still comes out as an excuse. Because remember, at the end of the day, I'm your interviewer. I don't know you whatsoever. So this is the first impression that you're bringing to me. This is the first thing I'm seeing about you. And the first thing I'm coming to learn about you is that you're late. You get it? So ultimately, it just comes down to that. So when you're going for an interview, can you ensure that you're very early? Nowadays we have Google. You can look for the map. You can get a pin so that you know exactly where you're going. You can do your research earlier so that you actually familiarize yourself. So that when it comes the time for the interview, there is nothing that is gonna stand in your way. I believe it's important to work at it that way or look at it in that perspective. So now when I really talked to her, given at the end of the day, we actually took her. I liked her personality. I liked her attitude. I felt she was really going to do a good job at, she was the kind of person we were looking at. So she got the job. And recently she actually left us. She got a better position with a multinational. So she was telling me, and she was like, hey, Lydia, do you remember such and such a time when you're really on my case and I was still new and you're on my case about punctuality? So she's like, when I went for this interview, I was there an hour earlier. And I was like, what did they say? She's like, they were very impressed actually at my punctuality. And they told me they didn't want to waste my time, so they actually interviewed me at that particular time. She got that job, and I want to say that I'm really appreciative and grateful that my talk made an impact in someone's life. Probably it's not the only thing that, actually, it's true, it's not the only reason they took her. But you see, I like to think it's one of the reasons because that is the first impression they had of her. The fact that she could actually keep time. Before they start talking to you, they already know if we get this person, she's gonna keep time. She doesn't waste our time. She has value for time. She values time, which is very important. And when I'm looking at interviews and looking at it in every perspective, and also I'm looking at it at the fact that your appearance in every way matters. Are you keeping time? Are you well kept? Are you put together? Is everything exactly the way it's supposed to be? These are the small things that I'm looking at, but they go a long way to determine a lot of things. So I want to look at it this way also. Um, people are back. Some have lost their marriages. You're trying to get back to the dating side. Some are just single. Some are just lost their marriage, whatever, their relationships. Everything matters, yeah. So at the end of the day, when you're talking about interview, I would like to look at life as an interview in totality. And when you're addressing interviews, you're not just addressing in terms of jobs. You're addressing it in terms of everything else in your life. And you know that is very important. So you met this guy, you met this lady, you've been chatting, or maybe you've just been trying to get her to go out with you, trying to put an impression on him so that he can take you out, you know. So it doesn't really matter which one, but finally there's a yes response, and you want to make a good impression. As a lady, how do you look like? Are you well kept together? How is your makeup? Is it on point? Is everything okay? You know, so I'm looking at it that way. Did you put consideration in how you dressed? Are you putting consideration in how you talk or address people? You know, when it comes to the guy, it's not really about the ladies alone that you're looking at how they look like at the end of the day. Even the guy, did you put some thought in what you're putting on? Because I'm gonna look at the way you're well put. Are you well put together? And then I'm looking at it like, yeah, he looks good. How do I categorize him or her? Do I look at her and I'm looking at her like, oh God, this one looks like a one nighter. This one looks like someone I wanna date casually, you know, but I don't see us going anywhere. And this is someone that I wanna get to know, and I feel like we can build a future together, you know. So it's not just men that actually go for the one nighter. A lot of ladies do. I'm not saying all, yeah, but it depends on the kind of person you are. So everything about you will tell me what I want to know about you. Whether I'm in the interview room, whether I'm in the dating side, it doesn't matter. You see, as an interviewer, you're coming in and I'm looking at the way you're dressed. I'm looking at the way you're dressing. Like when you're addressing people, I'm looking at, are you courteous? You know, these people who just walk in and they just go sit. Can you wait until someone tells, hey, you can have a seat? You know? And given the things we cannot really control, like you can say, I understand Mombasa Road has jam, so I'm gonna give myself a 3 hours head start. And you're like, you really left home early, you know. Your interview is maybe at midday, and you leave your house by around maybe 7. And you know, the way Mombasa Road right now is a mess. You can't really tell the time you'll be at a place. And it's understandable. But do you call? Yeah, can you call early and tell this person that I'm running late? You're meeting someone, a date. Can you call them and tell them you're running late? You're meeting a prospective business partner, or even a current business partner. Can you? It doesn't cost you anything, yeah. It is just courteous. How do we deal with people around us? It's very important. Even if it's just your husband, your wife, I'm gonna call him and tell him, hey babe, I'm running late. Do you mind waiting? You know, and be very sincere. You know, when you're very sincere with someone, it actually shows this person that you value their time. There's nothing that gets me angry or pissed off like someone who does not value my time. You might keep me waiting, but how did you go about it? How did I end up waiting for you? You know, if you value someone's time, you have no control over everything that happens, but you have talked to this person, you have communicated the fact that you're running late. You know, each and every bit of this is actually communicated. At the end of the day, communication goes a long way. So how do you take your life as an interview? Everybody you're meeting, I usually say that when you're leaving your house in the morning, look at yourself in the mirror and Are you in love with the person that is currently leaving the house? Don't just leave and your hair is a mess and you didn't put thought into the clothes you're putting on. Your clothes are creased. Take a shower. Iron your clothes. They don't have to be expensive. They just they just have to be clean and neat. It's the effort, it's the thought that matters at the end of the day. How do you take it? Take your life as an interview, because you never know who you're meeting that day. And it's not even about the people you're going to meet, it's about you. The more you if you're well kept, well put together, it tends to raise your confidence levels. You can easily articulate yourself, you can easily talk, you can easily communicate. At the end of the day, your confidence, like the way you are, it pours out to the rest of the world. So even in terms of the kind of people you're going to meet, in terms of how you feel about yourself, people are gonna feel good being around you because you're feeling good about yourself. You enter that interview room, your confidence levels are way up. You're feeling good about exactly the way you're dressed. You're feeling good. You're feeling happy. Like you're in love with yourself. Who's not gonna love you? Our first love, our first point of love should be with ourselves. If you love yourself, the world will love you. I'm not saying everybody has to love you, but what I usually say, whatever we put out there is exactly what we get back. So what are you putting out there? You want to ask that interview. Did you prepare for it? Are you well prepared yourself? How knowledgeable are you? Everything matters in every aspect of your life. I am exactly who I put out to the world. I receive positive energy or negative energy from others because I'm either positive or negative. So ultimately, it begins with you. When you take your life as an interview, when you take everything around you as an interview, then you're always prepared for it. Yeah, you set your mind with an understanding that, hey, I'm gonna give it my best. Be it a relationship, be it a business partnership, be it a proposal. It doesn't matter what you're putting out there. But when you decide to take your life as an interview, I'm 100% sure you will be well prepared. Especially when you look at the job, maybe you're looking at this company and you're like, I would really love to work for that company. You always put your best foot forward. Or when you look at this guy and you're like, hey, I wouldn't mind getting to know him. I wouldn't mind spending my future with him. Of course, you're gonna put your best foot forward. You're like, you're gonna give it your best. Yeah, that is how I'm trying to put it. So look at your life and look it as if you're trying to impress every day. Impress yourself, impress those around you. Yeah, that warmth. Let it feel you. Let everything you're doing and working at come from the heart. Start with the inside, and then everything else becomes easier. And also, whatever you attract is what you get. When you have that at the back of your mind, you really work hard to ensure whatever you're attracting is positivity. If it's a job you want, you really show them like, I'm gonna get this job. By God, I will. Take your life as an interview. Consider everything you're doing and put it as an interview. Remember, wherever you believe, you manifest. Can we start it with our in? Can we believe? Can we take our life as if it's full of possibilities? I want to thank you for taking the time to listen to me. I hope I've helped someone. I hope this can be can be the beginning of a change in someone. I hope this can produce positivity in someone's life. Be a go getter, and I believe you're gonna get whatever it is that your heart desires. Thank you, and do have a lovely day. Ciao.